good morning, high school football fans.
And good morning, high school football fans. Welcome to the High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet here on the High School Sports Roundup. PJ Zucco here with you as we look back at a big night of high school football there last night from all around the Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee area, and some big matchups there last night, some big games, some tough losses for Coastal Georgia area teams there as well, but also some big wins in region play. And you're getting down to it now, officially 2 weeks to go here in the regular season, and that's just for overall weeks, right? There's some teams that only have one game left, one chance left to make it punch their ticket into the playoffs, and some teams in some interesting situations here. Going to have to rely on some other teams, possibly certainly have some business to handle for themselves moving forward as well. But we'll take a look at all of that coming up this morning. Of course, talk to some high school football coaches as well here on the High School Sports Roundup presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet. But let's take a look at everything that happened here last night, get all your scores from last night here on the Roundup. Glenn Academy travels up to Richmond Hill there last night, and this normally a game for both teams that is possibly for a region championship, for a share of the region championship. Both teams lost a lot of talent from last year's teams and just have had tough seasons. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just have had tough years for both these teams, and now a battle last night to put yourself in a decent position to just make the playoffs. And Glenn Academy falls short there in an absolute battle with Richmond Hill, back and forth all night between these two teams. Defensive struggle there as well, but Glenn Academy not able to get the victory there. Richmond Hill gets the win 14-7. You take a look also, the rest of that region. Brunswick High off last night at 8-0, 2 games left there in region play for the Pirates. Statesboro gets the 35-6 victory over South Effingham. Effingham defeats Bradwell Institute 35-12. So what does that mean for region standings and things like that? Well, Statesboro is 3-1 now in region play. Effingham is 3-1 in region play as well. Both those teams losses. You have Statesboro, who of course lost to Brunswick High, got the win over Richmond Hill though. Effingham has the victory, has a loss there to Richmond Hill. Excuse me. They have not played Brunswick High yet. There have Effingham. So looking forward to that. See how that shakes out. Glenn Academy now 2-3 in region play, and Richmond Hill at 3-2 in region play with a possible tiebreaker over Glenn Academy. But at the same time, Statesboro does have games left. They're 3-1. They do have games left against Glenn Academy and Effingham. So that's kind of 5 teams battling for 4 spots right now in those last couple in that region there in 6A. So all kind of comes down to these last couple games for Statesboro. Obviously, if you're a Glenn Academy fan, you're rooting for Effingham when they take on Statesboro here next week, and then Glenn Academy going to take on Statesboro in a couple weeks there at the end of the regular season. And you hope they fall to 3-3 in region play, and then you have the head-to-head there, I believe, over Statesboro. So it could get wacky for sure, and we'll have to see how everything works out moving forward to see who makes it in the playoffs here in the 6A region. As for 7A, actually, let's move back up to that. Tift County gets the victory over Camden County there last night. A tough loss there for the Wildcats of Camden County. Had a solid game there last night. Tift County kind of took over there in the second half, and sadly we've kind of seen that over the course of the season, over the course of the past few weeks for Camden County, kind of big second halves for some of these teams, some of their opponents this year. So a tough one there. They fall to 0-2 in region play. In the 5A classification, you have Ware County off there last night and off to a 2-0 start in region play as well, and only 2 games left for the Gators are Veterans and Wayne County. As for the other 4 teams out there in 5A, you have Wayne County falling to Warner Robins, who got back on their scoring ways. They found their offense again after only scoring 21 against Ware County there last week, and a talented defense for the Gators. Warner Robins wins this one last night, 70-14 over Wayne County, excuse me. So big win for Warner Robins there in region play. You also have Coffee with the 33-13 victory over Veterans there last night. So that, shaping up with a big matchup between Coffee and Warner Robins to see, I believe, who's going to be the 2 seed. You have Ware County. You always like to keep the possibility out there of upsets and things like that. They wouldn't be called upsets if you always expected them, right? But right now, Ware County looking like they're going to go ahead and win this region as they're 2-0, have games against Veterans and Wayne County, who have both kind of fallen on tough times when it comes to region play. And it looks like the top 3 teams, obviously, in this region are Ware County, Warner Robins, and Coffee. And we'll see. I think that's going to be a fun matchup between Warner Robins and Coffee when they do battle to see how everything works out for home field advantage there in the playoffs. But in the 3A classification last night, you had some big wins for Coastal Georgia, Okefenokee area teams. Pierce County stays undefeated in region play. They get the 44-6 victory over Long County last night. They moved to 2-0 in region play. Long County falling to 1-2 there in region, and 4-5 overall. Brantley County, the Herons get the win in region. They defeat Tatnall County 13-12 there last night. Moved to 1-2 in region play. 1 game left there against Appling County in region, and a solid victory for Tatnall. Obviously, a solid victory over Tatnall, obviously gives Brantley County the tiebreaker over Tatnall if it comes to that. If Tatnall, doesn't win another game, though, they have a couple of tough games left. One of those being Long County. Long County is up and down this year, so kind of unpredictable. So you're rooting now, if you're the Herons, I believe you're rooting for Long County to get that victory over Tatnall. Then if there comes need to be a tiebreaker there in region standings and whatnot, then you got the tiebreaker there over Tatnall with the victory in the head-to-head. And it looks like the trajectory so far looks like you have the Brantley County Herons moving toward the playoffs, and looking forward to that for sure. Again, as Jeff Cannon has done a solid job there with Brantley County, has had them in the playoffs the past couple years. It'd be great to see them in the playoffs here once again, and looks like it's trending in that direction after a big win over Tatnall there last night, 13-10. A tough loss for Charlton County last night, 36-7 against Irwin County. That kind of a buzzsaw. I mean, you talk about that region. That is such a tough region having to play in right now. You have Irwin County in there, Clinch County, Brooks County. I mean, just a tough region there for Charlton. Started off the season extremely well. Have fallen into a few losses, but we'll see if Charlton County can get back on track here soon and moving forward. McIntosh County Academy looking good there last night against Screven County. They win that one 32-8. Have some big games, big matchups coming up soon. One coming up with Jenkins County for sure, who's a very solid team in that region. But hey, McIntosh County Academy gets back on the winning ways after a couple tough losses against ECI and Metter, and doing so looking good as well. Wore those black jerseys last night for the McIntosh County Academy Buccaneers, looking great there under the lights, no doubt, with the big victory over Screven County. Also with a win last night for Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee area teams. Frederica Academy gets their first road win of the year. They travel up to St. Andrews last night, win that one 44-6 in a big region matchup there for Frederica Academy. So 44-6 victory for the Knights, and a huge one there for Frederica. Brunswick High, Ware County with the night off there last night. But obviously some big wins, some big games there for Coastal Georgia, Okefenokee area teams, some important wins as well, but also some tough losses. And one of those, obviously, Glen Academy falling to Richmond Hill last night. And back and forth there. It looked like it might have been, a game that could go into the 20s or 30s between both these teams. And, the scoring just kind of came to an abrupt stop there at the end of the second quarter as these defense started to show out. And, Richmond Hill able to make a few more plays there defensively to secure the victory. But offensively, to start things off, you had Richmond Hill going down, scoring on their first possession. Ty Goldrick with a 26-yard touchdown pass to Tommy Bliss to open the scoring there 4 minutes into the ball game. Glen Academy comes right back down, able to march down the field, and Zach Ellis, who's been so solid in the running game for Glen Academy all year with the 21-yard touchdown run for Glen Academy to tie things up 7-7. Richmond Hill able to fight back and come back, take the lead there in the second quarter and hold on to it for the rest of the way. Big 46-yard completion in the pass game, 1-yard touchdown run for Richmond Hill there in the second quarter before halftime to go up 14-7. And Glen Academy, the defense, they did what they could to get this Red Terrors offense back in the ball game. Had Tyson Rooks with an interception there in the first half. Fumble recovery in the third quarter for Glen Academy there near midfield, but just not able to capitalize on those turnovers were the Glen Academy offense. You had getting down inside the 10-yard line, an intercepted pass by the Richmond Hill defense in the third quarter as well. And then just, tough situation is Glen Academy having the ball there with about 7 minutes left in the ball game. Can't really muster anything on that offensive drive, and you punt the ball back to Richmond Hill with 4 minutes left in the ball game. Trust your defense. It's been playing extremely well throughout the night. They're obviously holding a solid offense to only 14 points, and Richmond Hill was able to run out the clock from there. So a bit of a tough situation there, and it's easy to say on hindsight what to do, but I mean, at the end of the day, your defense has been playing so extremely well all night. Have even come up with some turnovers for you, and just wasn't able to get that stop there late in the game. But ultimately, ultimately it comes down to only being able to score 7 points there against a solid defense in Richmond Hill, but also just some mistakes as well. Some penalties have read also. Some wrong routes run and things like that. Just some off execution by Glen Academy offensively this year, and just a bit of a bummer there last night against Richmond Hill, but still has a chance to make it into the playoffs once again. As we mentioned, don't want to be in this situation, but gotta take what situation you're in and make the best out of it. Glen Academy heads into a bye week now, and then looks forward to Statesboro after that to finish off the season. So you're looking for an Effingham County win over Statesboro there next week, and then obviously you take on Statesboro yourselves, and if you're able to win that one, you're looking at a possible playoff berth there for Glen Academy. But right now, kind of on the outside looking in, sitting there at 2-3 in region play. So Red Terrors, tough situation there last night, and a tough one there defensively. Able to play real well defensively, but just not able to score the football there again. So a tough one for the Red Terrors, and we'll come back, keep looking at these high school football games, talk to some head coaches as well here on the High School Sports Roundup on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia, and all Okefenokee, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet here on the Roundup. We'll come back and keep talking about these high school football games here in just a few minutes. And welcome back. It's High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet here on the Roundup. PJ Zucco here with you as we take a look at these last night's games from all around the area. Glen Academy falls to Richmond Hill 14-7. It was Statesboro over South Effingham 35-6. Effingham defeating Bradwell Institute 35-12. Warner Robins defeats Wayne County last night 70-14. Brantley County defeating Tatnall 13-10. Pierce County getting the victory over Long County 44-6. Screven County falling to McIntosh County Academy 32-8. And Frederica Academy traveling up to St. Andrews and getting the victory there in Savannah 44-6. As we mentioned, Richmond Hill gets the victory over Glen Academy there last night in a tough one for the Red Terrors 14-7. Joining us now to chat with us about his team that game last night, as well as Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Red Terrors. Coach Hidalgo, great to have you on. How you doing this morning?
I'm all right, man.
Well, Coach, appreciate it. Great to have you on here on the show this morning. And yeah, a tough one there last night in region play, a defensive struggle between these two teams in Richmond Hill and Glen Academy. And really is all scoring there in the first half and all defense there in the second half for both these squads.
Yeah. I mean, it really was. I mean, our kids played hard. We just didn't make any plays, I mean, offensively. And, I mean, you're not going to win games that way.
Right, yeah. No, you mentioned it there. I mean, tough night offensively. Obviously, you have the touchdown by Zach Ellis, and then just after that, not really able to put anything together consistently. Out a couple drives, able to move here and there. One gets down to the red zone inside the 10-yard line and an interception thrown there by Devlin. But again, yeah, just the some struggles there with penalties and things like that, and just not being able to move the football consistently. Some plays here and there, but not able to consistently put things together.
Execution has been our Achilles heel all year. It was Friday night. I mean, and it's really frustrating, and kids are frustrated, coaches are frustrated. I don't have a lot of answers right now. We just got to do the things we're coached to do, and just we're not doing that consistently enough.
Right, Coach. And last night also, I mean, you look on the defensive side, and you hate to see it in a loss, but a solid night defensively. Second half, hold Richmond Hill scoreless there. Come up with some turnovers there as well. An interception in the second quarter, fumble recovery in the third quarter. So defensively, able to make those plays and try and put that offense in position, but just obviously still hold Richmond Hill to 14 points, but still not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. I mean, and at some point in time, we got to be able to stick the ball in the end zone, and we just haven't been able to do that.
Right. You mentioned lack of execution there and mistakes, and it's. I'm sure. Is this something that you're seeing all week through practice with these guys, or is it just showing up on Friday nights? I know that can certainly be frustrating. You go through practices and see things sometimes clicking and working well, and then all of a sudden it seems like they pop up on Friday nights out of nowhere.
It's a little bit of both. I mean, it's a little bit of both. And, like I said, if I had an answer to it, we'd fix it and move on, but we just don't. I mean, we got to, at some point in time, we got to go perform, and we're just struggling with that right now.
Right, Coach. I'm talking Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Glen Academy Red Terrors here on the High School Sports Roundup. Tough loss to Richmond Hill there last night. Now, Coach, I know no moral victories or anything like that by any means, but I know you've mentioned all year how hard these kids fight and how much fight they have in them and battling all the way through, and still a shot at the playoffs as well. So still certainly something to fight for with a game on the schedule as well with Statesboro here in a couple weeks following the bye week.
Yeah, I mean, look, we got to go play and beat a pretty good Statesboro team, and I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, we got to play better. I mean, that's the one thing I just wish we would just play a good football game. We haven't done that yet, and we're going to go back to work. We got an off week next week. We can give the kids a little time off and go back to work and come up with a good plan. Hopefully, beat Statesboro in 2 weeks.
Right, Coach. Absolutely. It talked about it there with with the bye week coming up as well, looking at get some guys some rest at the same time. Obviously prepare for a good Statesboro team that's had a solid season.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we just kind of got to regroup and hopefully we play better.
Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Glen Academy Red Terrors, our guest here on High School Sports Roundup. Looking forward to a bye week and then a final game of the regular season with Statesboro there in a few weeks. Coach, I appreciate you coming on here, and we'll certainly be talking again soon.
You cut out.
I just appreciate you coming on this morning, Coach. Looking forward to the game against Statesboro here in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk to you again soon. All right. Appreciate it, Coach. Looks like we lost. Yeah, Rocky Hidalgo there. But either way, as he mentioned, just got to be able to play better. Got to be able to execute at the end of the day. Frustrating situation there with Glen Academy right now and just not being able to put consistent drives together, consistent plays together. And, when you get to this point in the season and things just aren't clicking like you want them to, it can be tough. It can be frustrating for sure. Still, again, Glen Academy has that shot of making it to the playoffs and getting in there and causing some noise. And I think too, it can be frustrating as well because you can see the talent and the potential that this team has offensively, defensively as well. And defensively, I mean, they're able to make these big plays as well, kind of set the offense up for some of these big situations and big opportunities, and just not able to cash on that so far this year. And that somewhat surprising. We've seen that a ton from Glen Academy, being able to progress throughout the regular season and really play their best ball in region play. Haven't seen it. Have been very close to getting some of these wins over Richmond Hill, over Effingham there last week, 20-14, but just not able to consistently put it together offensively. And when you're not able to have those big plays, when you're not able to drive down the football field consistently, you're going to run into some of these problems and can't always rely on that defense. So yeah, a tough situation there for Glen Academy, a tough game there last night against Richmond Hill. But at the end of the day, you'll love to see the fight in the players. Now, I mean, that's what I'm kind of getting to there, as at the end of the day, you could have a team cash in and kind of check out and say, all right, I'm ready for the offseason. I mean, I'm sure there are high school football teams, and they don't want to admit it. I'm sure there are high school football teams that are kind of already doing that with 2 weeks to go in the regular season. Red Terrors aren't one of those teams, still out there in these football games, still playing hard, obviously, and putting themselves in situations. Just got to be able to cash in on those moments when you get them. For instance, inside the red zone there, and almost able to tie it up, but Richmond Hill comes away with the interception there. So a tough one there and a tough situation, but I got to be able to move through the bye week here. Luckily you get that. Hopefully you see a Effingham win there over Statesboro, and then in the end of the regular season, have the matchup with Statesboro and possibly have the opportunity to win and go in to the playoffs. But as Coach Hidalgo said, got to be able to play more consistently on offense to do that. But we'll come back, talk about some of these other teams from around the area as well. Some big wins. One of those, Brantley County last night, defeating Tattnall County 13-10. We'll talk to Jeff Cannon, head coach of the Brantley County Herons, after that big win last night here on the High School Sports Roundup on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia, and Okefenokee, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet. Welcome back to the High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee. PJ Zucco here with you this morning, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet as we take a look at all of last night's huge high school football games, big wins, some tough losses from some Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee area football teams as well, but some big games all around to talk about here this morning. Again, Richmond Hill with a victory over Glen Academy last night, 14-7. It was Warner Robins defeating Wayne County 70-14. Camden County falling to Tift County 21-14. Pierce County defeating Long 44-6. Brantley County with a victory over Tattnall County 13-10. And Irwin County defeating Charlton 36-7. McIntosh County Academy grabbed the victory over Screven County 32-8. And Frederica Academy defeating St. Andrews there 44-6 last night as well. But as we mentioned, the Brantley County Herons able to get a big win in region play. And joining us now, the head coach of Brantley County, Jeff Cannon, joins us here on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach, great to have you. How you doing this morning?
Thanks for having me on, PJ. Feeling really good. Thank you.
Absolutely, Coach. Great to have you on once again as we're talking about a big Brantley County region win last night. Defensive struggle, 13-10, but you guys able to battle it out and hold on to that victory there against Tattnall County and grab that big region contest.
Yeah, obviously can't say enough about our kids and their willingness to just trust and believe in what we're trying to do over here in Donna. And our coaching staff putting together just really, really good game plans. But really, it just came down to playing great defense and ball pressure. We forced a lot of fumbles, got a couple of them, stole some possessions with a special teams turnover, and we opened the second half with an onside kick and recovered it. And we were able to put 2 on the board and come out of Reidsville with a huge victory. This is my 4th season here, and I'm pretty sure that this is the first time that we've won as the underdog. Especially, and so I think we were a 30-point underdog too. But in Brantley, when we're winning is tough to come by, and we've got to just make sure that we're winning the ones that we should. And I just felt like we've taken a step by winning one that we shouldn't have. And it's just a testament to our kids and their buy-in and the culture that we're trying to build over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, a solid game plan and the big takeaways able to help there all night there for Brantley County and able to get that big region victory. And as you said, takeaways, the special teams play big there last night. And defensively, just overall, Coach, obviously, the underdog there, I think the spread there may be a little wide for me, but either way, the underdog there against Tattnall County and your defense able to play strong all night, slow down, frustrate that offense, and obviously come away with the huge takeaways that you needed.
Yeah, our guys just did a really good job staying in the game, staying invested in every play, and beating up the football. We were getting multiple hats on the ball carrier, and the first guy, second guy's hemming them up, and then third and the fourth guy are beating up the ball, and it was coming out. And sometimes we got it, and sometimes we didn't. But it was just relentless ball pressure, and that was able to go a long way in us securing this victory. It was just being 3-0 at halftime. We were going into the locker room at the half, and I knew before I got to the locker room door that we were going to kick an onside kick to start. Why not, right? I mean, so little Michael Connor is our kind of like our he's a defensive end outside linebacker, but he's kind of like our onside kick specialist. And I asked him if he thought he could do it. He said sure, and we went out there and recovered it. Now we didn't score on that possession, but again we stole a possession and burned clock. And in a 3-0 ball game at the time, they were up 3-0. Those kinds of things were important. So we just tried our to be able to manage the clock and manage the game real time in a way that would help us be successful. Our kids bought in, and we came out of it with a victory.
Like you said, just being able to burn that clock, take a possession away, so important in a tight ball game like that. And Obviously, Coach able in the second half able to find the end zone there as well and put some points on the board to be able to get that victory. And offensively, staying patient with it and working through whatever frustrations you had there in the first half, and obviously able to score enough and get and find the end zone and when you needed it the most there with your offense.
Yeah, we needed some breaks, in a game, like that, on the road against a heavily favored opponent. The ball's got to bounce your way. Our first touchdown was about a 60, maybe a 65-yard pass, but it was deflected about 4 times before Kellen Middleton came down with it and then outran everybody to the end zone. So, and it happened on our sideline too. So it's something just real special. Sometimes the ball's got to bounce your way too, and so that was big. And then our last score was a 15-play, drive in the fourth quarter that took about 9 minutes off the clock. I think we converted 1 fourth down and 3 or 4 third downs. And Kellen Middleton was able to punch that one in with about 2.5 minutes to go up 13-3. And Tatnall took the ensuing drive and went right down the field and scored with about 1:50 left. But Quentin Walker recovered. He's the one who recovered our onside kick, and we had the hands team out there for their onside kick at the end of the game, and he recovered that one too. So pretty special night for him. And they only had 1 timeout left. We were able to do the math and get in the victory formation and get ourselves out of there. Just really proud of our effort.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Talking to Jeff Cannon, head coach of the Brantley County Herons here on the High School Sports Roundup. And Coach, I don't know if this is an insanely great analysis or anything like that from me, but I feel like with those 2 scoring drives, if someone asked me, hey, what's football? What is football like? What I would point to those 2 drives and say that is football. I mean, you have an oblong-shaped ball that you play the game with, just bouncing all over the place and able to find someone to make a big play. Like you said, sometimes the ball's got to bounce your way as well, and it did last night for the Herons, especially on that big play. And we've seen many great plays in every level of football with plays like that and with situations like that. And then you come back with just the hard-nosed, tough it out, the kind of movie-like 15 play, just grind it out at the end of the game. And find that game-winning score from your offense as well. If I had to point to a couple drives and say, what is it? That's football to me.
Man, you're so right. My high school head coach at Walton High School in East Cobb is Ed Dudley. And he was down here at Ware County for, 5 or 6 years. And, while I was coaching at Glenn Academy. And I still remember my senior year when he just said, guys, it's a funny-shaped ball. So when it hits the ground, it bounces funny ways, and it's definitely a metaphor. Offensively, we do a little bit of everything, but so we spread you out the best we can, and try to find some grass, and then we'll get in there foot to foot in the wishbone and try to bang it out. And that 15-play drive, we did everything. And the touchdown was a direct snap to Kellen Middleton with our quarterback Kirkland Cannon split out at receiver. Kind of like a little wildcat thing that we had never done before. So, again, you couldn't hit the nail better on the head right there. It's just a little bit of everything. And then, of course, the first one, the first touchdown being, just a ball that gets tipped 4, 5, 6 times. And our guy just happened to be following the play and came down with it. And it was a foot race. And just a really great night to be a Heron. It's always great to be a Heron, but last night it was just a little sweeter.
Yeah, that a thing of beauty as well. That drive, like you said, finishing it off with the wildcat-like formation, able to get in the end zone with that. And Coach, now with that victory, looking like Brantley County having the inside track to make it to the playoffs once again, as made it the past 2 years here for the Herons, get the big win over Tatnall. I know this coming off a tough loss too. Me and you texted about a tough loss to Long County there last week. So that even sweeter, able to get this victory over Tatnall, and looking like Brantley County Herons could be back on track to the playoffs.
Yeah, we sure hope so. I know at the very least we've kind of upset the apple cart a little bit. Turn that over, and we're just going to have to see. We've got 8-0 Appling County coming to Caney Bay Friday. So I'm almost over enjoying last night's victory. It's time for reality to set back in and get our kids ready to play another good one.
Right, and looking forward to that one for sure, and certainly going to be a big one against Appling County coming up next week for Brantley County. But again, a big win there last night in region play for the Herons, 13-10 over Tatnall County, and putting themselves in position here. Looking forward to a possible playoff berth here once again for Brantley County. But Jeff Cannon, head coach of the Herons, has been our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach, great to talk to you once again. Congratulations there on the win last night, and best of luck as you move forward and prepare for another upset against Appling County.
Thanks, PJ. Go Herons.
I appreciate it, Coach. Jeff Cannon, head coach of the Brantley County Herons, our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup. So, yeah, huge win there for Brantley County last night, and you move to 1-2 in region play. Yeah, he's right. You do have 8-0 undefeated Appling County coming to town here next week, so going to need a valiant effort again if you want to see that upset. But just the way things shake out right now, Long County sitting at 1-2 in region play. You have Tatnall County at 0-2 in region, and Brantley County at 1-2. So Tatnall County still with a couple games left. Obviously, Pierce County with a couple games left as well at 2-0. If Tatnall County loses out, which is a big possibility, as they still have Long County and I believe Pierce County. Yeah, Pierce County and Long County on the schedule. So you turn into Long County fans when Tatnall County plays them, and looking like Brantley County could, if they don't come away with the victory there next week, they'd sit at 1-3 in region. And if obviously Tatnall County loses out, then you'll be the 4 seed. If Brantley County pulls the upset there next week, as it's certainly not playing that out of the cards or anything like that, it's high school football. Man, let's go out and spoil Appling County season. You can move to 2-2 and really put yourselves right in the middle there and see what could happen possibly. Maybe go up to the 2 seed, most likely stay at the 3 seed there. But either way, Brantley County looks like they have the inside track. Want to see Tatnall County lose out here the rest of the way to make sure the Herons get back into the playoffs once again with Jeff Cannon there at the helm. But we'll come back, look at these scores one more time, look at these region situations one more time, as well as we're getting closer and closer to the end of the regular season and the start of the playoffs. And I'll wrap it all up here on the High School Sports Roundup, presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia, and Okefenokee, the ESPN app, ESPNCoastal.com. And welcome back. High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia, and Okefenokee. ESPN app, ESPNCoastal.com. PJ Zucco here with you, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet here on the Roundup. And going through this one more time to wrap up your Saturday morning for high school football and get you set for some college football here all around the, a crazy college football season. And looking forward to hopefully, fingers crossed, some more upsets later today. Certainly can't wait for that. But let's take a look back at last night one more time. Richmond Hill getting the victory over Glen Academy, 14-7. It was Statesboro defeating South Effingham 35-6. Effingham defeating Bradwell Institute 35-12 last night there in 6A. For Tift County, you get the victory over Camden 21-14. And in 7A, in 5A, you have Coffee defeating Veterans 33-13, and Warner Robins getting the victory over Wayne County 70-14. Last night in 3A, Pierce County defeating Long County 44-6, and Brantley County getting the win over Tatnall 13-10. Charlton County falls to Irwin County there in Single A Public 36-7. McIntosh County Academy gets back on the winning ways there with a win over Screven County 32-8. Frederica Academy travels up to St. Andrews in big region game there and defeats the Lions 44-6. Ware County, Brunswick High both having the week off there last week as they look forward to a couple games to finish off the season in region play for both Brunswick and Ware County. Brunswick, of course, 8-0 undefeated. Ware County undefeated in region play, and 2 games left there with Veterans and Wayne County to finish off the year for the Gators. And the situation in 6A looking a little more convoluted and messy, and you want to see it even more that way if you're Glen Academy here to finish off the season to make it into the playoffs. You have Brunswick High undefeated in region right now, Statesboro 3-1 in region, Effingham 3-1 in region, Richmond Hill 3-2, and Glen Academy now at 2-3. The hope for Glen Academy moving forward, you become big Effingham fans as Statesboro still has to play Effingham and Glen Academy. If Effingham gets the win over Statesboro, they fall to 3-2, and then Glen Academy could even it up with a win against Statesboro, bring them down to 3-3, and obviously get 500 there in region play at 3-3 for the Red Terrors as well, possibly punch their ticket into the playoffs. In 3A, you have a situation with Pierce County undefeated in region 2-0, Appling County 2-0 in region play right now. Also, Long County at 1-2, Brantley County 1-2, and Long County, holding the tiebreaker there over Brantley with the win. So that would put Brantley right there in the 4th slot right now. Tatnall County still has games against Pierce County and Long County. So if you're Brantley, you look for the upset there against Appling County next week. And if not, then you become big Long County fans, and hopefully they get the win over Tatnall, and Pierce does too, and Tatnall falls to 0-4. That would put Brantley County back into the playoffs there as the 4th seed. Of course, if you're Pierce County, you're looking for a region championship, of course, and a big matchup with Appling County. Got to get past Tatnall first, but a big matchup with Long County, Appling County, here in a few weeks. So looking forward to that. McIntosh County Academy with some games against Portal and Jenkins County still left. And Jenkins County 3-1 before last night. Didn't get to see their score from last night, but we'll see how that shakes out for the Buccaneers. They've looked really solid so far this year. I would favor McIntosh County Academy in that one, especially, by the way, if they wear those black jerseys again, man, because I'm a big fan of black jerseys, especially when you're a pirate-themed team, right, with the Buccaneers. So, yeah, give me black jersey all day when it comes to that. But I'm PJ Zucco. This has been the High School Sports Roundup presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia, and Okefenokee every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 here on the station. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your Saturday and weekend. Stay safe wherever you go, and God bless.